Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War East. Let's continue with where we left off. You cannot, okay. And try to assault Smolensk. I probably... That's no good. Yeah, let's use you. Bam. I know they're attacking across the river, but this should still be worth something here. We've got a rifle division that surrendered, 2 retreated. They got pretty battered, but we got through. One of the other important things, I guess, is taking a rail line here, so I can actually work on it. Although, let's for now do this. Because I guess getting a rail line through here is also, like doing this is also pretty important anyway. Anyway, now that we have taken Smolensk itself, there are a few more things that need to be taken care of. This is very annoying, especially since I now need to use the tanks, but okay. The thing is, I just need to clear the area a little bit. The enemy has really focused upon getting this, and sure, that's interesting, but that's actually create some more space. Besides taking Smolensk, things are getting... are really not going well. Finally, okay, thank you. Like I said, I need to create some more space here, and the only way to do that is through there. Okay, so no, even that is too hard for you. Thanks. Okay, this has cleared things up a little bit. Now, I do actually want to also take control of this hex. I need to start getting ready, at least on the next turn, to take down these 3 rifle divisions. So a good 30,000 men. Oh, no. Okay. Let's actually continue a little bit with Army Group North here now. So, as it is, I actually would like to move you in here. The thing is that besides Veliki Luki, I don't really have that much business in here. And the only thing this might be important is if I take Rizhev and I want this rail line. That's pretty much the only thing that's of importance. But I don't really care about the troops being in the center here. So I'm really trying to put up a, let's just say, a flanking position so I can move the majority of my forces further up north. And the 2nd Corps will stay here And then the rest of these forces are going to move up. So you can already just go up and do another attack on them. They actually surrendered. That's good. I need this to be out of the way. I actually needed to put you under something else. Namely the 10th Corps. Let's just do that. And have these guys stay in this position. So at that point, basically I need to keep a 2 hex distance for whatever other force I have, at least, in order to continue exerting a zone of control over all hexes. And this way I can do that. Now I will move quite a few of these further along as well. Actually, let's start with 2nd Panzer. Just move them 1 down. I'll switch up that other unit, but for now I do want to keep them in Vitebsk. So this is actually fine. Like I don't really need to worry about it anymore. And then over here, I'll move one of these guys back. So they also have that zone of control. Let's move you further along. And then we kind of have that covered. Once these guys are clear, we do have a lot of leeway over in that section. Another thing that I believe I'll be finally able to do, well, let's first of all take Repke and just attack these guys, because there's a bunch of pushovers. I actually want to move these guys back further up north as part of the 2nd Army, so then you guys also get to move up north. And I know that they cannot attack there with a hard attack, but well, let's start here. So let's start with that river line and push them away. Seems like many of the Soviet units are, well, they are quite powerful. This is 1 second, morale, experience, supplies is probably combat prep, fatigue. Let's work with supplies. They're doing pretty poorly. We'll have to make do. Okay. Why is this pretty important? Well, the thing is that now I can actually move through here with some of my other more powerful units. Like these, probably being able to get into Roslavel at least. No clue what this is though. A rifle division, huh? Now, That's pretty interesting. So could just move these tanks in the air. I can go for a smaller encirclement in the center. I don't actually think it's such a bad idea while I'm trying to consolidate around Smolensk. Yeah, trying to get my supplies rolling. You built a rail line up till there. So let's keep working on the rail. Now I could work on getting this into a loop. But then my supplies would not get up all the way to Smolensk. On the other hand, I'll probably not return to this loop anytime soon. So let's just work on this area first and then move up next turn with those supplies. Yeah, they're almost done here, so then they'll move down again and start taking care of this area. At any rate, now that this is clear, I can finally get the rest of these panzers out, which took me long enough. What? Oh, no. Never mind, it was silly. I needed this. And let's move down now. You can probably just wait a turn. This is fairly useless. So these guys are better off just moving. Interesting that they're doing more poorly now that I'm putting them in refit. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, so the last one to go out is the 52nd Motorized Corps. They're going to move down, but currently, indeed, we'll have this this prepped. So, last thing I can do, I could technically attack them by retreating. That's probably not the smartest thing. I'll actually just go and take these hexes. The only thing that I kind of messed up here... Okay, so first of all, I need this unit under the 2nd Corps. Let's just start with that. There we go. 2nd Corps is still not overburdened, so that's not a problem. Then I'll have these guys. And they're the 10th. And now, because I messed up, I need to put all these guys under the 10th individually. There we go. And because that is now taken care of, well, yeah. You have only this unit to take care of now. They only retreated, huh? Well, I'll encircle them. I mean, that's another 10,000 troops. I don't see how that would be bad. Let's split you up and have one part go up here, so we know full well that they'll be routed. Oh, I actually did not need to do that at all. Sweet, because they can go in here. That does make things a lot better, so yeah, that's good. There are a few things that I could do, but I think one of the more important things. You certainly cannot move up through this this territory. But if I want to free up Totenkopf, which is still pretty difficult here. Oh. I have to move you in here. I know they can technically move down through there, but that's not a very good movement for them anyway. 56, 3 divisions. You know what? I will take this city. Practically, it's just one of the few places I can go to at least have a toehold there and try to push myself further up north. Because overall, I don't really have a whole lot to go with. At least I can link these. Now I'll put you on a refit for the moment, just like these are on refit, and there are basically 2 units here. One of them, this one, I think should move into Soltsy, the 23rd Corps, and that's also where these guys should be under, because they're all pretty close to that. That should be pretty good. Then we have this motorized corps, where you're also gonna go into refit. Let's actually put you in reserve, the other one in refit. Currently, I kind of feel like I still need to use these as a flanking force, at least for a turn. That is probably for the best. So they don't do anything crazy. And then I'll keep these guys in here. You will move up. And also hopefully put in reserve. And the same applies to you. And that's pretty much as good as it gets for the moment. which is not very great for Army Group North. But let's see if I can do better down here. So I actually don't think there's a whole lot to encircle here. Technically, this cavalry and this rifle division are very weak. Well, if I move up... I will have to move through in a certain way. Okay, so one of the problems is that I don't have any hard attack capabilities with any of those guys except this 8th infantry. How about you? And you. Okay, so if I were to attack, I would have to at least... You have a minor river to the northwest, so practically from this place. And you guys also have a river. Can you perform a heavy attack? No, you can't. So I actually need both of these, or at least one of them, to move away from that hex. So I can't do it with just 6, I need 7. You only have one from the northwest, so actually if I move in here I can attack these. I need to switch you to the 5th. Only retreated. This is really how it's gonna be. Like, I will not be able to beat a stupid rifle division or a stupid cavalry division, and because of that I cannot actually get in there. Is it really gonna be like this? How about you? Okay. Even now, though, as far as this supposed encirclement goes, I don't have a lot of confidence because, you know, because of that hex. There's also nothing I can really put in there. So it really doesn't get a whole lot better. Or they'll probably all escape. Okay, let's make sure that they're not on a swamp hex. Like, I like Yartsevo, but it's less bad if there's a motorized unit in there. Let's move forward and have you on a refit. What are you part of, that corps? Let's put them under the 12th. And start moving up front. Okay, so like I said down here, at the very least, I want to move you further up. There's no reason for them to stay down here. This is just a freaking joke. Also, they had a lot of tanks. Like I said, things are not going very well here. For me at all. The 7th. There. Practically, you can also move up now. I probably should. What that will leave me with is you should be under the 53rd. And you should be under the 53rd. There we go. That's you should be under the 35th. That's a lot better. Okay. There we go. And there we go. This core has only one unit. But I want all of them at least on the road. 8 out of 12. So what do you have then? All these infantry? Let's move you up here. So that's a bit better for their supply. Things around Smolensk are still problematic, and I still need to get all the way to Moscow. I mean, whatever this tiny encirclement is for this turn, it's not very important. Although at least I did take Smolensk. So I can be happy with that. Right, let's at least reconnect all of this. I'll start using the Hungarian security division up there. And to be fair, I kind of want to move them further up north because I don't really think they have a whole lot of business being down here in reality, but let's just move up here. And see what they can do. All right, let's continue on down with the south. And what I did discuss is trying to get an encirclement over at this area. So let's start here in the north by attacking. That's great. If they move in here, they might actually be pocketed, the rest of those forces, later on. I would not mind that. Let's try to push them further down south. That's decent. And naturally all their supplies are absolutely terrible, but there's not much I can do against that. At least not now. So the way I want to do this is move you in here and then do a joint heavy attack on the cavalry, hopefully to get them just straight out. I didn't really do exactly what I wanted, but at least potentially they're far enough away. I guess they're not. Maybe you'll route. Neither. So that is terrible. Okay. Well, at this point though, I'm looking to get 11th Panzer in there, and I'll actually keep them like this. I know they still have very little tanks. Actually, they do have 48 Panzer 3Js now, so that's not too bad, but this kind of sucks, but at least I got Krivoy Roh. That's good, because yeah, they do have some resource production there, so that's not bad. I also did talk about how they're resupplying Odessa from these airfields. Now the closest airfield currently is probably you want to pronounce this Brezhnegolovskaya, something like that. I tried. Yeah. Either way, definitely pushing through as many of these guys through the breach. And getting them moving as far as possible. To take as much territory as possible to need to get to these places, you know, and yeah, that's just straight up not gonna happen if I don't try to take as much space as possible. The problem is as well, I actually should have taken Dnipropetrovsk on this turn, which I obviously also will not. Yeah, in that sense, things are tricky. There are a couple of double rail lines here that I'll probably benefit from gaining. Well, I try to get all the double rails as much as possible. Currently. So any double rail that I see, I'm trying to get things to connect. And for example, connecting this double rail will probably help getting supplies here, because we currently only have this singular rail, and we can see it's already orange, so it's not doing super amazingly. Now, I will have to do a heavy attack here with my my tanks. Let's put these on the motorized here. And oh, come on. Please just route 67 tanks. That's just insane. Unbelievable. Okay, so I think what I'll do is first move you here, slightly further down, and keeping you here will most likely make it most challenging for them to break through. Yeah. I mean, moving further at this point, I don't really see what it accomplishes. It really doesn't seem to do a whole lot, very likely. You're part of these. Well, I actually want to move forward with them towards D-Town, and pretty much the same applies for most of this infantry. So that definitely plays a big part. This, of course, doesn't really get at a whole lot of supply. But let's leave the Mountain Division in Kirovograd. Also, I don't want them to escape. Another problem is that I need to keep maintaining control of this rail line. Well, we'll see. I can always beat them back again on the next turn. Something like that. But something tells me that they're going to try and cross the Dnieper. I don't think they're very likely to do a whole lot else. Although moving with you at this stage doesn't really have that much of an effect. No, that's not going to help. Oh, yes, okay. With the major problem, of course, just being that, you know, the supplies have to come from up here. It will take a while before I can actually move my supplies through that area, and there's obviously nothing getting down here except through this rail line, which makes things even worse down here. Actually, I do want to make the river crossing here as well. desperately trying to get as far as possible here. Trying to take every hex I can take. Let's get you into that city. I don't really see them breaking through or escaping either way. Not even for these, very likely. I think we'll be okay. Plus 70 tanks there. That is insane, though. I mean, they might have plenty of tanks, but surely not me. If I go here, I'll take 3 more hexes. But these hexes don't really do anything for me. I've technically cut their rail line, although the Soviets are fine when it comes to supply. Regardless. What I'll do though, I don't think attacking this turn is going to be the most effective. So let's not. You're certainly staying there. And I'll actually move them across the river here. Get them into Nikolaev. And just refit there again. No sense in going too crazy. No. Let's move all of these into Lubyantsev on refit. They're certainly not done yet. This is absolutely useless since I have to get my supplies from up here. And you're now on a rail line, so I can actually unload them here, so I do not mind doing that. Same for you. The unloading that, or moving them in this way certainly does actually help. In a sense. This is fine this way. Yeah, I mean, I know that they are not in range. Might have to move this on the next turn, but I mean, if I move it up here, that currently also doesn't really work. I might be able to get a lot closer on the next turn, like all the way over here. And that would put these guys back in supply, or at least in good range, but there's just no way I can push those HQs. I mean, I can push the 6th army, but I can't push this HQ, unfortunately. Now, of course, something similar applies for the 11th army, where it's just not possible for me to provide adequate The armor group south. Now moving to Proskurov. So keeping both of these armies over in Kshinev. No sense trying to get them anywhere else while we're still working on the double rail. Once I get this, I might actually, if Odessa falls, I might actually start working on this rail potentially, because that's one of the few rails that actually gets down south into the Crimea. Although, yeah, otherwise I would have to go down here from D-Town and then work my way further down. I don't necessarily know whether that's what I want to do. Yeah, I will have to see about that. I do think no, I'm not getting any other units. Okay, maybe some of the Hungarian units decided to unfreeze. Most likely not. Same for the Romanians, but it's always worth a try. Even like something like this will certainly help me. Okay, I do think that's it though for this turn. Let's keep you though as a cover against whatever units in here trying to go to Mogilev. Although I do think they'll actually escape, very likely. They can just move this here and then they are no longer cut off. But I think they'll be stuck here, so I can re-encircle them on the next turn. They will need to put units in front here as another line, and I think altogether that's a bit of a problem for the Soviets. Alright, I'll go to the next turn. Well, one last thing. As far as the OKH is concerned. Heavy Cannon Battalion. Let's send you to 4th Panzer Group. Croatian Reinforced Infantry Regiment. So regiment. Send him to Armor Group South. And yeah, leave it at that. At least the HQ has decent supplies here. Siege mortar, yeah. If they try to be funny, I'll attack through there. There's no real reason for me to try and move from Stary Rusa. I don't like this, but there's nothing I can do against it for now. That's kind of the problem. The terrain up here is absolutely disastrous. Soon I'll actually start switching up some generals, potentially. Given how things are looking at that right now. Finally, they will get a depot in Veliki Luki. The depots, at least up front, are now looking reasonable. Except, yeah, I mean, I do get it through Navy here, so that should hopefully work out. Right. Yeah. This is actually a pretty funny supply of that, but problem is, of course, that they are fighters here, so I don't know why the AI is doing that. things are far more difficult than I would have expected, actually. Not gonna lie. It's funny because they don't seem to be having an actual depot at Odessa, just the airfield. It would not surprise me if they can also pretty easily resupply Odessa from the Crimea, but also because I'm doing naval ops, and I don't think naval ops really help against ground, but we'll see. If they're gonna fly them in, if they're gonna fly supplies in there again. They did show aviation fly support, but they didn't show any this time. So in that sense, maybe we're good. Maybe we're good. Who knows? Funny that they have Leningrad Air Command over here. Since this is not Leningrad. Funny that we actually lost more than they did. Pretty sad. Like, they are doing air operations and we are losing it because of flak. Another reason why these guys might not be able to escape is because they moved their isolated units first. And only afterwards they will do reactionary attacks. No attrition attacks so far this time. No. Yeah, okay. I mean, crossing the river, you're just not... Like, it's not going to help you a whole lot, I think. But maybe I can encircle them this way. That would be great. If I can make a push in there. If they don't just teleport out, of course. Which is definitely something they could do. Yeah, see, they already put a unit in there. And then they teleported out, just like here. They just went in there, teleported out, and... But these guys are, in a way, snagged. They cannot move. And I'm just not doing anything against this, interestingly enough, as well. I do have some flak, but that's not really stopping them. Really, they got out. Oh man, what? That's just absolute garbage. Like, against anything else, that pocket was super solid. But like, did I just lose 70 tanks just for nothing? Can be pretty frustrating in that. It seems at least though that the weather has cleared up a little bit in the north. That's good. City to city, city to pool, pool to city. Why would they bring back resources from city to pool? Only if they have access? Yeah, I guess that could be it indeed. And the logistics. So let's take a look. Turn 11. If the Soviets have more than 3... It's just unbelievable how they get 200,000 units per turn. Just insane. Okay. We did get that. They seem to have retreated quite a bit from the Veliki Luki area. Also around Kiev, interestingly enough. Right, at least they didn't get out. So it seems like they crossed the Dnieper at the very least here. Tried making a new defensive line over here, which will make it difficult for me. And they also gave away this river crossing. Anglo-Soviet invasion of Iran. On August 25th, 1941, British and Soviet troops invade Iran to save the Abadan oil fields and the important railways and routes to the Soviet Union for the supply of war material. In mid-December, Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran, is forced to resign in favor of his son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, under pressure from the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union. The Persian Corridor, supply route through Iran into Soviet Azerbaijan, was one of 3 major supply routes for Lend-Lease supplies to the Soviet Union. It was the only all-weather route to be developed to supply Soviet needs. The other 2 supply routes were the northern route across the North Atlantic and the Pacific route, which handled U.S. cargo at Vladivostok and then used the Trans-Siberian Railway across the USSR. Okay, so we can also encircle these. It means that, yeah, I mean, I just have to get these guys out. Like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to move through Kherson across here if I'm going to leave that exposed. So that has to go. There's practically no chance of me taking Kiev already, but hey, I'll keep things like this. I'll repocket these. These guys will be gone. Yeah, I'll have to see. Things are interesting. Of course. Yeah. That's what you get, I suppose. Either way, thanks for watching this one. Do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care. See you then, and bye-bye.